Hello, I'm Susan Heffley, and what just happened to me is something I couldn't keep to myself. I bought this notebook to write down everything that happens, so others won't. I'm planning to take this to a publisher in my city to get published. I just hope my husband Frank will forgive me. Well, what I want to say is that I've been totally off lately, and it all started today when my husband Frank was in a work meeting via video call with a girl named Laura. My husband Frank was talking to her about business, but made me feel a bit uneasy because Laura was speaking in a flirtatious way and not very professionally, as she didn't even wear the uniform. Instead, she wore a very low-cut dress. And that really bothered me, since Frank was looking at her intently while he was jotting down some important notes in his notebook, something that still doesn't sit well with me. And what I'm getting at is that I feel like I'm no longer very attracted to my husband. Since years have passed and we've both aged, Frank still looks handsome and a bit youthful, like when I met him. But I wonder if he thinks the same. It's been months since anything has happened between us, and to be honest, it could be said that it's been since Manny was born, my third and last child. I would give up everything I have to be another younger woman for just 1 week to get to know my husband again and put him to the test to see if he still loves me, because I still care for him and love him just like when we got married. Everything was so beautiful. And of course, in case you forgot, the parts in red are the crap I think before discovering this awful substance. Now I continue. What I was saying is that the insecurity was so much that same night I called one of my friends to meet at a nearby cafe so I could tell her what was going through my head. Yes, I'll wait for you, Susan. When she accepted, I got ready and went down to the living room and saw my husband Frank and my two sons Greg and Roderick watching TV. Frank asked me where I was going to go. I explained that I had to meet a friend since he was on vacation and could look for a temporary job to earn some money. He told me it wasn't necessary because of our savings, but if I wanted to, I could do it. I said goodbye to him, started the car, and took off, heading to the cafe. When I was halfway, my phone rang. It was Mrs. Jefferson. I didn't know what she wanted, and when I tried to answer, a car cut me off and I crashed into it. Out of nowhere, everything went black. I fainted for a few moments. When I came to, I was sitting on a stretcher with two doctors behind me, examining my injuries. The doctor examined me and found no fractures. He said I could leave, and then he left the room to find some medication for hip pain before I went. The doctor who had stayed behind me said that there was still one last examination left. I didn't have a problem with it and let him examine my back. I felt him touch my spine, and he told me I'd be fine in the following days. That didn't entirely reassure me, but the good thing is that I didn't suffer a serious fracture. The second doctor returned to the room and handed me the medicine and my wallet back. I saw that it was 8:30, pretty late, so I left the hospital in a bit of a hurry. When I got home, my two sons Roderick and Greg are fighting as usual. Frank asked me a million questions like where I was all afternoon. He told me that Greg and Roderick were fighting all afternoon and he couldn't do anything because Manny was laughing, thinking they were just playing. Roderick. I sent the kids to their room and I sat down with Frank at the table with Manny. I didn't know how to tell him that I wrecked the car, so I decided to tell a little white lie. I got a 1 week job. Frank was happy and he asked me when I'd start and why the job was only for 1 week. I didn't know what to tell him and I was feeling really tired, so I told him we could talk about it tomorrow. Luckily, he left me alone and took Manny to bed. I checked my wallet and found my phone and the USB drive that wasn't mine. The USB was labelled the substance. I was confused. Without hesitation, I inserted it into my TV and it started playing. Have you ever wanted to just be the best version of yourself? Younger, more beautiful, more perfect? I'd like to introduce you to the substance. With a single injection, you can change your life in 7 days, 1 week, a fair balance for each one. But remember, you are one.